Log on to patreon.com/Dane Calloway or paypal.me/Dane Calloway to support me, my channel, and my content.
Any amount is very much appreciated, and I humbly thank you. I am documenting this on August 6, 2017. I am still making my way throughout the historic landmasses of the Virginia colony of London, also known as the Charter of the Virginia Company of London. But the majority of people watching knows this land as Virginia, the Commonwealth State. And make no mistake, I am not in London. I am still in North America at this time. Further south from where I documented my last vlog in Jamestown Island. You wouldn't believe where I am right now, but I must share this important information with all of you, for this is very essential when it comes to the authentic historical doctrine of our true indigenous ancestors of North America. Many people are familiar with the story concerning the information that I'm about to share with you, but those people that have shared the story tends to leave out multiple key factors surrounding its importance to our history and its relevancy of details revealing the factual truth about this one leading individual having been a contemporary of the indigenous Aborigines. So join me on this journey and bear witness to what you're about to see. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, right now I'm in Southampton, Virginia, Southampton. I'm like about 5 or 6 miles from Jerusalem, which is now called Portland. And I wanted to grab this real quick. I hope you guys can see me. I wanted to grab this sign real quick because I'm almost there. And they have this on the street. I mean, literally, this is called Jerusalem Parkway. This is the Southampton County sign. I want to point something out to you so you can get an idea where I'm coming from on this. If you can't see this, I'm definitely going to be putting a picture up. But that says Department of Historic Resources 2003. I also want to point out that it says the preacher and slave, they call him a slave, Nat Turner. This is where the rebellion took place. Actually, it's a little bit further down. I'm going to show you exactly where it took place. Hopefully, if I could get to it, because the way they set the Nat Turner story up, since everybody got, and you're hearing the cars go past me, since everybody got interested in the Nat Turner story, they started removing certain artifacts and certain things that you could catch up on with, so you won't know that Nat Turner was in fact an indigenous Aborigine right here in Turtle Island, aka North America. But I just want to point out the fact that it says, of course you can see the Nat Turner name. This says the county seat is Cortland, which I'm heading right to, formerly called Jerusalem. That's very important. Soon after transitioning into power as the King of England in 1589, the Catholic Scottish ruler, King James IV of Scotland, became King James I of England. James was solely responsible for dubbing the land occupied by the Nottoway Indians as Jerusalem, Virginia, in the early 1600s, once he ordered white settlers to colonize land in the, quote, New World, not obstructing lands in Florida and the Caribbean due to the Spaniards overseeing those Indian territories already, preventing any contravention of said treaties. The King James Version Bible is named after him due to James commissioning it and later authorizing the publication of it in 1611. I'll go into full detail about this in a later documentary, but its relevancy is essential to note due to its timely establishment surrounding this topic. I am here, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I wanted to show you guys. I'm inside of the town of Cortland, Okay, town of Cortland, which is a part of Southampton, Virginia. And yes, this is the Nat Turner's insurrection historic marker. I'm going to read this off to you. Before I do that, let me make note. You know how I do this. Note that this says Department of Historic Resources, 1991. Okay, so we're going to be going into this. So I'm going to read this off quickly. If you can't hear me quite well, it's because I'm literally right here. You can see the cotton field that it's directly beside. Notice that. This is a cotton field that is directly beside, and across the street is also a cotton field, which is quite, the spot that they chose to put this historic marker in. Keep that in mind. Cotton fields is where this is located, right here off of 35. In which I just showed you guys about the initial landmark of where Southampton County started, right there off of Jerusalem Park Road. And yes, this is nothing but cotton fields. And to go ahead back to I'm going to read this off right now. To go back to it, it says, on the night of 21-22 August 1831, we know that is August 21st through the 22nd of 1831, Nat Turner, a slave preacher, began an insurrection some 7 miles west with a band that grew to be about 70. What they're talking about is like 70 people that he had running with him. They moved northeast toward the Southampton County seat, Jerusalem, now called Cortland, okay, which is where I'm located right now, killing about 60 whites. After 2 days, militant men and armed civilians quelled the revolt. Turner was captured on 30 October, which is the 30th of October, tried and convicted. And which I do want to mention, guys, that I passed the Cortland courthouse, which was on the way down here, but it came up so quick that I wasn't able to grab that footage. If I'm able to go back, I will, but I do want to make way to Fort Christiana, so I'm not too sure if I'm going to have time to do that, because of course I'm running on a time schedule here, and I'm getting bit up and ate up because everything is up to my feet right here, because of where it's located. As you can tell, I had to jump over a ditch just to get here off of the road. I mean, it is awkwardly placed, okay? So let me go back to this. He was tried and convicted and hanged on November 11th. I'm going to say it correctly. They said 11 November. Some 30 blacks were hanged or expelled from Virginia. In response to the revolt, the General Assembly passed harsher slave laws and censored abolitionists. Abolitionists like, for example, Frederick Douglass, for example. I'm going to use him as an example. He was also an abolitionist. Usually, the abolitionists are now known as your modified versions of politicians, which is, the Democrats or the Republicans. And I'm out here to uncover all of the history that wasn't told, okay? And there's a reason why they're separating so much stuff about the Nat Turner story, because of course they don't want you to know most of the stuff that I do know, and some people do know of. I'm just going to try to capture it as much as I can. I'm probably going to be doing some more recording in Fort Christiana. I hope I could throw all of this in one video, because everything is about an hour and a half away from each other. Even Rebecca's house, the house that, one second. Yeah, that house was removed from its initial location. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. I'm trying to stay up in this light so you can see me. As you can see, obviously it's nighttime, and I'm working with the light here in the truck. And I got a couple of more that I'm definitely going to be going to, but I do want to wrap up the situation dealing with Nat Turner, not in this video. So we're probably going to have to be doing more vlogs dealing with the Nat Turner situation, because keep in mind, the way they had everything set up, guys, it's not all in one spot. Like they purposely took it from one spot and separated it. I don't know why they're removing that stuff, but I mean, of course, it's obvious. They don't want to have everybody knowing that Nat Turner is an indigenous Aborigine, or AKA Indian, you know, what they like to call us, because that's, you know what, just go take a look at the video. That will, you know, get into further detail. It's called The Untold Truth About the Nat Turner Rebellion. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's the name of it. If not, I'm definitely going to be linking it up above if I haven't done so already. And also, there's a couple other things that I do want to mention. First, I definitely want to be giving some shout outs to some people that have been supporting me, and I greatly appreciate this, guys, humbly. Even the people that haven't even supported me but plan to do so in the future, I humbly appreciate you too as well. And of course, I will be shouting you guys out as well. From the people that have pledged to me on my Patreon, we're going to start off with Daryl Harnett, who pledged $5. Thank you, Daryl Harnett, for pledging $5. I greatly appreciate that. Lee Craft Thompson. Thank you, Lee Craft Thompson, for pledging $20. Thank you. I really appreciate your pledge of $20. That is greatly appreciated. I humbly thank you. Demetrius Mark pledged $10. I greatly appreciate that, Demetrius. Thank you so much. Christopher Jones pledged $10 to me as well. Thank you, Mr. Jones. That is humbly appreciated. Paul Rogers pledged $5 to me. Thank you, Mr. Rogers. I appreciate the $5 pledge. Shabra Imayu pledged $5. Thank you, Shabra Imayu, for your $5 pledge. That is greatly appreciated. Tyra Sherman pledged $10. Thank you, Miss Tyra, for your pledge of $10. All right, and Darlene Lee for your $20 pledge. Whoa, this is amazing, guys. Darlene Lee for your $20 pledge. I greatly appreciate that. Wow, I can't thank you guys enough for this. This is amazing. Kiefer Bay, if I'm mispronouncing your name, I do apologize. I did not mean to. Kiefer Bay pledged $10 as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Sandy Bottom pledged $20 as well. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much. This helps me out a lot. Thank you so much. Okay, and next is Brian Smasher. She pledged $5 to me. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Mr. Smasher. And Trent Watt for pledging $20 as well. Thank you, Mr. Watt. That is greatly appreciated. Each and everybody that pledges $20, you definitely about to be having a special, let me just say surprise. Something is very good is about to happen for you guys that pledge 20. For the ones that pledge 10, definitely, I'm sure you're seeing all of my documentary clips early before anybody gets to see them. All right, and the next few shout outs I want to give are the people that have donated to me to my PayPal. The first person is Sovereign Lawn Care. Sovereign Lawn Care sounds like a business. Thank you very much for your $10 donation. And the person left a note from Abi Washi. Great work, brother. Keep that knowledge coming. Abi Washi, I greatly appreciate your $10 donation, and I sure will. Thank you so much. The next person I want to shout out is Jonathan Brown for your $10 donation. Thank you, Mr. Jonathan Brown. I greatly appreciate that. John Tay Powell. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name. It could be Jonte or Wante Powell, but I believe it's Jonte Powell for your $20 donation. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Andrea Archambault, thank you for your $20 donation. I greatly appreciate that. And she left a note as well saying, thank you for your content, resources, and time you put into each of your documentaries. Thinking out loud makes the world look different. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Guided Restoration, I believe that's a business, and that business has donated $15 to me. I really appreciate that. Oh, and they left a note saying, keep up the good work, bruh. Keep enlightening the people. Thank you, and I greatly appreciate that. All right, and the next person I want to shout out is Marcus Lewis for donating $10 to me. Thank you, Mr. Lewis. I greatly appreciate that. And he also left a note saying, God watching over you. I pray for your safety and hope your wisdom enhance. Your journalism is the best I've seen. Please continue to use your brain cells for righteous. Your reward is heaven, brother. Blessed. Thank you so much, Mr. Lewis. That is greatly appreciated. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you. Last but not least, I definitely have to shout out T-Shirt Studios RVA for making my I'm Just Here to Make You Think shirt that I'm wearing today. Thank you so much. I humbly appreciate that. And thank you so much for your support, guys. So that's going to wrap it up for the shout outs for this particular moment. So what I'm going to be doing next is I definitely have to tap into finishing up Fort Christiana so you can see the rebellion sites. And they also have cemeteries over there. Hopefully they're not touched. And I could go over there and film that as well. So a lot of people are requesting some help that they need, trying to find their ancestors' grave sites. Now keep in mind, I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, that the federal government has been removing the majority of our ancestors' grave sites, but I know where we could get the records of the cemeteries and when they were buried, where they were buried. Okay, I'm talking about definitely in areas going further back from what they were initially called today. Like, say for instance, if it was Hampton, I could go as far back as Point Comfort or even further, but I know if that Point Comfort is what the original name is for Hampton. It went from Point Comfort to Fort Moreau to Hampton. So I'm definitely going to be helping out those people that have been reaching out to me requesting that. I'm definitely going to be showing each and every hopefully, I just hope this happens. I'm definitely going to be showing all the cemeteries there, getting across some last names. I might even have some extra footage that I'm going to definitely post. Thank you for, I know I've been saying that a lot, but thank you for checking out this video. And it's late, and I do apologize once again, everyone, for not having that footage there, but I'm going to make up for it on the next vlog. Keep in mind, these are not scripted. So I'm Dane Calloway, and I'm just here to make you think.